What's going on, everyone? Mike O back, and today I have another PSA DNA reveal video for you. Now, usually I just get my cards authenticated, my autographed cards. I have them encapsulated, and then I share them with you. This is a little different. This is all more memorabilia and other things like that I've gotten signed over the years. Most in person, a few TTMs, and then some stuff that was purchased. It's a little mixed bag, and I'll let you know as I go through item by item. So the reason I got this stuff done was that the New Jersey PSA DNA office actually just had a public day. And the public day that they have occasionally, they offer half-price specials. So any players that are $49 or less to authenticate, you get for half price. So I saw it as a great way to add value to items that I have. Some that I may sell, I have some duplicates. You know, when you're in this hobby and when you collect a lot of stuff, the price can add up. You spend money on new stuff all the time, and you can't keep everything as much as you would like. At least I can't. So I may move a few of these things eventually. We'll see. But let's go ahead and I'll show you some of the stuff I got. Here's the stack of certificates of authenticity they give you, which includes the certification number. You can look these numbers up online to verify if you were to sell anything. And they put a sticker on each item as well. I submitted 26 items. They authenticated 24. The two failures were very disheartening. They were TTMs, but hey, let's get to it. I'm going to start by showing you the bats I got done. I got 9 bats authenticated. So here we go with the first one here. This is first baseman Ryan Howard, former Philly, 2008 World Champion, Rookie of the Year, a National League MVP. Signed this bat here at the Phillies ALS Festival a number of years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, something like that. So that's definitely a cool one. This one will stay in the collection. Howard is a legendary all-time Philly. I know, you know, he didn't wrap up his Phillies career in the best way, but injuries caught up with him. But this is a very cool piece. The second bat I have to show off is another member of the 2008 World Champion Philadelphia Phillies. This guy also won an MVP award. Phillies all-time hit leader, Jimmy Rollins. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. We'll see. I don't think he'll get in, at least anytime soon. Maybe he's one of those guys who gets in on the Veterans Committee someday. But this is a nice bat. Got this one at the ALS Festival as well. I don't remember when. He was obviously with the Phillies for over a decade, but sometime in the last 7 or 8 years. This next bat that was authenticated is from one of the best Phillies of all time and the greatest third baseman of all time, Mr. Mike Schmidt. So it's a nice nice bat there. Decent signature, not my favorite signature that I've ever seen from him. My dad actually bought this bat a number of years ago at a collectible show, maybe even the Philly show, I don't remember. But I mean, he bought this like 15 years ago plus. This is one that I'm going to look at potentially selling. I don't love the signature. It's not my favorite. And I already have Schmidt on cards, balls, and I have another bat that my dad also purchased. It's a Cooperstown bat, and it's a far nicer piece. So that's what I'm looking at with this. All right, next up, I have 3 from Jim Thome. These were all acquired back in 2003 and 2004. I believe actually 2003, the ALS Festival. I mean, there were long lines for him. We got really lucky with tickets. I went with my family, and we had like 5 sets of tickets for autographs, and 3 of us got Thome. So this one is signed in black on this bat. This is, I don't love this one. I would like this to have been signed in blue. So this is one that I may look at selling. Thome's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I think it'll be next year. It could be the following year, but either way. All right, here's the second Thome. This one is in silver on the black bat. Very nice. Definitely cool. So that's number 2. This one's pretty solid, but the third one is my favorite. Here's the third Thome, and I think this is the one that looks the best. It has the crispest, cleanest signature of them. And the silver really looks good on the black. So definitely really, it's definitely a cool part of the collection. And I've kind of gotten away from the memorabilia stuff. I've been going like hardcore towards cards, and cards are my favorite thing to collect now in terms of the autographs. But it is nice to have some variety in your collection. I do have a few non-Philly bats. I've got Ralph Kiner with a Hall of Fame inscription. Got 2 of these. Got these at a card show years ago. Bought the bats and then had them signed. Ralph Kiner was signing there, so that's really cool there. Gotta love the Hall of Fame inscription, so Very, very nice pieces to the collection. And when you have two, you keep one, you move the other. So here's the final bat. The final bat I have is Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews. I'm sure the Braves fans out there will like this one. Very cool part of the collection. And definitely really nice. Inscribed Hall of Fame 72. So this is really cool. And better yet, it is actually an Eddie Matthews model bat. So that definitely adds a little bit to it. That makes it just a little bit nicer for sure. Back to the Phillies theme and the '08 Phillies theme. So I got this batting helmet. Way back in the day, the Phillies would have all sorts of sales in the off season, and they would blow out tons of game-used memorabilia and all kinds of stuff. Now they've gotten a little more stingy on that with the popularity of autographed and game-used items. You know, the last 10 years or so, that market's really taken off, and the Phillies save most of that for charity sales and auctions and stuff like that. They will sell some things. This is just a generic helmet. Whoever did use it, the number was peeled off and stuff. Got it pretty cheap. And way back when this guy was a rookie, Mr. Carlos Ruiz, I had him sign it. So it's definitely pretty cool. I have Ruiz on a ball and some other stuff like that, like cards. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this or not. It's pretty cool because I don't have any other helmets outside of Michael Bourne, who obviously his career hasn't trended in a great way. I kind of wish I got Ruiz on something else, maybe a bat or something like that. But I didn't realize how good he would end up being. And I think Carlos Ruiz is probably someone that a lot of people out there don't realize how good he was. He was a decent offensive player, nothing super special. But he was a huge member of the '08 Phillies team and all those teams that had success. Little known fact by most, Carlos Ruiz has caught 4 no-hitters, tying him for the most of all time. He caught Halladay's perfect game. He caught Roy Halladay's playoff no-hitter. He caught a combined no-hitter that took place. Cole Hamels was the starter, and the game was finished up by Jake Diekman and Ken Giles, as well as Jonathan Papelbon. And then Cole Hamels' final start, he threw a no-hitter in Chicago. And Carlos Ruiz called all of those games. So he is a really good player, and this is a cool piece. All right, this next one's pretty cool. I actually have 2 of them. Kind of heavy, too. Game-used base. I live for this. Philadelphia Phillies. This base is game-used, and it's actually from Jimmy Rollins' hit streak back in 2005, late 2005, and early into 2006. Jimmy Rollins had a 38-game hitting streak. It's one of the longest hitting streaks in Major League history. I think it's top 10 all time. And as you can see, this base is nice and dirty. It is filthy. And at an ALS festival, I was able to get Jimmy Rollins to sign it. So got that authenticated. It's very cool. These things, you could certainly get a workout lifting these all day. So I don't only have 1 of these, but I actually have 2 of these. This one is even dirtier. This one also signed by Mr. Jimmy Rollins. So that's very cool. Nice piece of the collection. Like I've said before, he is he's an all-time Philly, the all-time hits leader. He was an MVP, a core member of that '08 World Series team. So I got 2 of these authenticated. This is actually dual authenticated. Let's see if we can show that off here. So up here we got the sticker from MLB to authenticate the base being game used. And then we got the PSA DNA authentication for the signature. So I have 2 of these. These are definitely kind of higher priced items. I would never sell these cheap, but I would consider one day maybe looking into moving one of them because you don't need 2 of them and they take up a lot of space, but these are freaking awesome. So autographed baseballs are a classic. They're one of the classic items to get autographed, whether it's baseball or not. People have been getting them signed since way back in the Babe Ruth days. So got some of those authenticated as well. This one's a light signature. It's faded over time. It's Richie Ashburn, Phillies Hall of Famer, longtime announcer as well. This dude was a joy to listen to on the radio and television. And he was a great player as well, way back in the 50s. Here's a really nice Ashburn. This one is signed in blue, looks outstanding. This is awesome. One of these, I believe this one, my dad actually got in person. quite a while ago. Obviously, he passed away at least 15 years ago, if not 20. And the other one, I believe he bought quite a while ago. Next here, we have Dick Allen, an eventual potential Hall of Famer. I know many believe he should be in. We'll see if and when he gets in, but that's cool. Definitely a great Philly and a great hitter in his day. I guess he never reached his full potential, at least what he maybe could have been. Never got to see him play. Obviously, sadly, I'm too young, but that's definitely a cool one. Got a few more Phillies Hall of Famers. Robin Roberts, very cool there. Robin Roberts obviously had himself an amazing career, as evidenced by the fact that his number is retired and he is a Hall of Famer. Showed one of these before, showed the bat. Mike Schmidt, Hall of Fame third baseman and current Phillies announcer. He does some Sunday games, and it's really cool to listen to him. I got to see Schmidt's last few years. I thought he was awesome, and at that point he had obviously declined big time, but Mike Schmidt will always be a special one, and that is definitely very cool for the collection. More Phillies Hall of Famers, you guessed it. Steve Carlton, really nice ball here, looks cool. Carlton, great, one of the greatest, if not the lefty ever, but he signs a lot. He signed a lot after he retired. I think he had some bad business deals and didn't exactly have a ton of money. But hey, if you're a former big leaguer and a Hall of Famer, you can get yourself a lot of gigs signing autographs. Here's the second one. This one was actually purchased directly from the Phillies at the 1996 All-Star Game. It's a cool looking signature. Gotta love those seams. Really like the All-Star Game logo there. But unfortunately, this ball has a lot of spots on it and stuff like that. It just, unfortunately, over the years, a lot of these baseballs, they just react to different things. And some of them, it's just the way they're made, and they turn colors over time, which is kind of disappointing and hurts some of the eye appeal, to me at least. For you non-Philly fans watching that want to see some guys that aren't Phillies, how about Lou Brock? Very nice one there. Cool looking auto. This one is on a Taiwan ball, unfortunately, though. So you don't want your Hall of Famers signed on Taiwan balls, but actually, I'm pretty sure this is one my dad bought at the airport out in St. Louis, and I think it might have even been Lou Brock's own store or something that was selling these back then. So, hey, got it authenticated. Figured it's still cool for the collection. Of course, I'd prefer the official Major League Baseball. To me, this is the coolest one. Really happy to get this one here, and it is Stan Musial. How nice is that? Look at that signature. It'd be really nice if some of these new guys, these current players, would take some notes from players of the past. Maybe we could actually read their signatures, but that is absolutely fantastic. A very sweet autograph to have authenticated, and definitely something extremely cool for the collection. Guys, I've been showing you all baseball stuff. I did submit a few football things. They're all TTMs, and they're custom photos I made. I was on a kick for a while making 5x7 customs and sending them out. Recently, I've geared more towards just getting cards signed. I do like making customs, but nowadays I make more just for family and friends and stuff like that. But I might get back into the customized cards for autographs at some point as well. So, got Jim Otto here. Really nice 5x7. Showed this off in one of my old TTM recap videos. Thought the custom turned out pretty well. Definitely a cool signature for the collection. Got it authenticated just because I was figuring, you know what, I never send these out, and I just figured, hey, for half price, why not? Gale Sayers, another nice Hall of Famer. Pretty cool custom. I like the way this one turned out. Signed it there in blue. And this one is one of my favorites as well. Another 5x7, Gale Sayers. He signed it in silver. Hopefully you get it nice and focused up here, but very cool looking custom. You know, just really like the way it turned out. Have it authenticated. Not looking to move these at all, but I still just, sometimes it's just cool to get things authenticated and just have that peace of mind, and it does build value towards the future. The future's unpredictable. Who knows where this collection ends up in 5, 10, 40 years? All right, I teased at the beginning there was one heartbreaker. This is really disappointing. I don't know what to think of it yet, but I've seen a lot of people recently getting Bill Belichick in. And I never doubted in my mind that these were real, but they N4'd me on these. Two photos that I've said in multiple videos are one of my favorites ever. So N4, they put is irregular letter shape and or formation. So you never know. Again, PSA DNA, they're just a few people's opinions. You take it for what it is. They do it for a living, so they're pretty good at it, but they're not 100%. I know that for a fact. I think everyone knows that. They'll make mistakes. Every now and then they might pass something that shouldn't be passed. Every now and then they might deny something that shouldn't be denied. I've submitted cards where friends have gotten them in person and they got denied because of a sloppy signature, so who knows? Maybe Bill Belichick had a bad day and his signature looks a little different here. Maybe it was ghost signed. I don't know for sure. Maybe it's just the way the marker looks. I'll have to study it a little more, but that's definitely disappointing. I've seen tons of people get Belichick's back PSA DNA certified. Photos just like me, the letters that come with it, which I do have. I am going to compare those signatures again. So it's really disappointed to have these denied authentication, but I'll look into it more. I'm not going to go out and say, all right, these are definitely fake. I'm not going to say, oh, they're definitely real and they screwed me. You know, you take it with a grain of salt. Maybe get a second opinion some other day. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out my collection. I definitely appreciate it. Comment below, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, and have yourselves a great one.